करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ओम शांति शांति शांति। ओम सच्चिदानंदरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रय विनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। ओम जन्माद्यस्य हेतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिघ्नस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यं। समस्तदेवताभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो ब्राह्मणेभ्यो आचार्येभ्यो नदीनदेभ्यो साधकेभ्यो तीर्थेभ्यो क्षेत्रेभ्यो नमः। श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराण आचार्येभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे महाविष्णवे ब्रह्मणे सनकादिमुनिभ्यो नारदाय वेदव्यासाय शुकब्रह्मर्षये सूतमहामुने शौनकादिषिभ्यो त्र्यादिषिभ्यो प्रह्लादादिभक्तजनेभ्यो आदित्यादिनवग्रदेवताभ्यो मत्स्यादवतारेभ्यो दक्षिणामूर्ति दत्तात्रेय हयग्रीवादिगुरुभ्यो मातापितृदेवताभ्यो नमः। आद्यशङ्कराचार्यवर्यादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। आदिपराशक्तिमात्रे नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो स्कन्दः मुक्तिर् अथ पारायणं द्वादशस्कन्धः। आभासश्च निरोधश्च यतश्चाध्यवसेयते स आश्रयः परं ब्रह्म परमात्मेति शब्दते। ओम पारायणम् अथ सप्तमोऽध्यायः। Friends, this entire life of ours is so auspicious. As a human, can be used for the best of the endeavors. Whether we are able to do it or not, but this 1.5 hours which we spend in the study of the Shastra, if we are little careful, conscious, well planned, prepared, this 1.5 hours can be the best sadhana for us. When right from the beginning till the end of the class, with utmost Shraddha, when we participate wholeheartedly in all the things, right from Omkara Ucharana, Prarthana mantras, chanting of the Bhagavatam Puranam, and then discussion on the shlokas. Particularly nowadays we are studying the 28th chapter, in which Bhagavan Krishna, as his final teachings, revealing to us the Parabrahma Tattva, how to analyze, how to understand it, which is the essence of all Upanishads, which is the way for us to get liberated. So fully participate in all of them and eke out maximum. If we can try that, we are doing a best thing to ourselves. Anyway, we are sitting in class. Try to make the maximum best use of it. Now we will chant the 7th chapter of 12th Skandha as a continuation of our chanting series. It's a beautiful one. Let us do. Om Athadvadasha Skandha Saptamodhyayah Suta Uvacha Om Atharvit Sumantuscha Shishyamadhyavayat Swakam Samhitam Sopi Pathyaya Vedadarshaya Choktavan Shauklayanir Brahma Balihi Modoshah Pippalayanihi Vedadarshasva Shishyaste Vedadarshasya Shishyaste Pathya Shృణो कुमुदः शुनको ब्रह्मन् जातरिश्चाप्यथर्ववितु बभ्रुः शिष्योऽथाङ्गिरसः सैन्धवायन एव च अधीयेतां संहिते द्वे सावर्ण्याद्यास्तथा परे नक्षत्रकल्पः शान्तिश्च काश्यपाङ्गिरसादयः एते अथर्वणाचार्याः शृणु पौराणिकान् मुने त्रय्यारुणिः कश्यपश्च सावर्णि रकृतव्रणः वैशम्पायनः रीतौ षड्वै पौराणिका इमे अधीयन्तव्यासशिष्यात् संहितां मत्पितुर्मुखात् एकैकामहमेतेषां शिष्यः सर्वाः समध्यगाम काश्यपोऽहं च सावर्णी रामशिष्यो कृतव्रणः अधीमहि व्यासशिष्यात् शतस्रो मूलसंहिताः पुराणलक्षणं ब्रह्मन् ब्रह्मर्षिभिर्निरूपितं शृणुष्व बुद्धिमाश्रित्य वेदशास्त्रानुसारतः सर्गोऽस्याथ विसर्गश्च वृत्तिरक्षान्तराणि च वंशो वंशानुचरितं संस्थाहेतुरपाश्रयः दशभिर्लक्षणैर्युक्तं पुराणं तद्विदो विदुः क्वचित् पञ्चविधं ब्रह्मन् महदल्पव्यवस्थया अव्याकृतगुणक्षोभात् महतस्ति वृतोऽहमः भूतमात्रेन्द्रियार्थानां सम्भवः सर्ग उच्यते पुरुषानुगृहीतानाम् एतेषां वासनामयः विसर्गोऽयं समाहारः बीजात् बीजं चराचरं वृत्तिर्भूतानि भूतानां चराणामचराणि च कृता स्वेन नृणां तत्र कामाचोदनयापि वा रक्षाच्युतावतारेह विश्वस्यानुयुगे युगे तिर्यं मर्त्यर्षिदेवेषु हन्यन्ते यैस्त्रयीद्विषः मन्वन्तरं मनुर्देवा मनुपुत्राः सुरेश्वरः ऋषिवंशावतारश्च हरेः षड्विधमुच्यते राज्ञां ब्रह्मप्रसूतानां वंशस्त्रैकालिकोऽन्वयः वंशानुचरितं तेषां वृत्तं वंशधराश्च ये नैमित्तिकः प्राकृतिकः नित्य आत्यन्तिको लयः संस्थेति कविभिः प्रोक्ता चतुर्थास्य स्वभावतः हेतुर्जीवोऽस्य सर्गादेः अविद्याकर्मकारकः यं चानुशैनं प्राहुः अव्याकृतमुतापरे व्यतिरेकान्वयो यस्य जाग्रत् स्वप्नसुषुप्तिषु मायामयेषु तद्ब्रह्म जीववृत्तिष्वपाश्रयः पदार्थेषु यथा द्रव्यं सन्मात्रं रूपनामसु बीजादिपञ्चतां तासु ह्यवस्थासु युतायुतं विरमेत यदा चित्तं हित्वा वृत्तित्रयं स्वयं योगेन वा तदात्मानं वेदेहाय निवर्तते एवं लक्षणलक्ष्याणि पुराणानि पुराविदः मुनयोऽष्टादश प्राहुः क्षुल्लकानि महान्ति च ब्राह्मं पाद्मं वैष्णवं च शैवं लैङ्गं सकारुडं नारदीयं भागवतम् आग्नेयं स्कान्दसंज्ञितं भविष्यं ब्रह्मवैवर्तं मार्कण्डेयं सवामनं वाराहं मात्स्यं कौर्मं च ब्रह्माण्डाख्यमिति त्रिषटु ब्रह्मन् इदं समाख्यातं शाखाप्रणयनं मुनेः शिष्यशिष्यप्रशिष्याणां ब्रह्मतेजोविवर्धनम् इति श्रीमद्भागवते महापुराणे पारमहंस्यां संहितायां द्वादशस्कन्धे सप्तमोऽध्यायः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। ॐ श्रीकृष्णा शरणं मम, श्रीभागवत शरणं मम, श्रीसद्गुरुशरणं मम, श्रीसूता शरणं मम, श्रीशुकदेव शरणं मम, श्रीव्यासा शरणं मम, श्रीनारद शरणं मम, श्रीकुमार शरणं मम, श्रीब्रह्मा शरणं मम, श्रीविष्णु शरणं मम, श्रीपरब्रह्म शरणं मम, श्रीकृष्ण शरणं मम, शरणं मम, शरणं मम। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव। श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, श्रीकृष्ण गोविन्द हरे मुरारे, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव, हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव हे नाथ नारायण वासुदेव ॐ मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं स्वर्गे सत्ये च कैलासे वैकुण्ठे नास्त्यन्नसः अतप्यबन्धु सद्भाग्याः मामा मुञ्चदकर्हिचिद ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ श्रीकृष्णपरब्रह्मणे नमः श्रीमद्भागवत महापुराणम् एकादश स्कंदः मुक्तिर्हित्वा अन्यथा रूपं स्वरूपेण व्यवस्थितिः अथ अष्टाविंशोऽध्यायः श्रीभगवानुवाच Slowly, steadily, we are trying our best through the analysis of every word and every shloka given by Bhagavan to understand the truth, the reality, the Brahman, the self as the reality, and also through this variety of efforts, logics, quotations, analysis, examples, we are trying to understand about the falsehood of this world, mithyatva of this jagat. So that finally we discover there is nothing in this world for which we have to be bound and for which we have to suffer. So these are the efforts we are putting last 1 week in trying to analyze, understand this chapter 28. So who is Jiva is explained to us. And this Jiva is suffering. The only way the Jiva can end his suffering is by himself dissolving his Jiva Bhava, then discovering me instead of becoming Jiva, discovering the Atma Anubhava. How to do that is the sadhana given here. And all this is because the problem is in ignorance and misunderstanding. The solution also is in the knowledge and the right understanding. Non-thinking aviveka was the cause for the ignorance and misunderstanding. Therefore, the thinking viveka, inquiry alone, is the cause of vidya, therefore mukti. Let us be very clear about it. So we are given the guidance. And this guidance relentlessly, continuously, when we receive or take and use it for our own contemplation, meditation, then that experience, standing at which the Guru is giving all these things, we also first understand, then practice, we also get that experience of moksha as he is getting. Bhagavan here Bhagavan Krishna himself is Krishna Vande Jagat Gurum. So, who is Jiva? See from verse number 16. I'll not explain, only chanting the mantra. देहेन्द्रिय प्राणमनोभिमानः जीवः अंतरात्मा गुणकर्ममूर्तिः. He is really the antaratma, but because of dehendriya pranabhimana, he has become jiva. Once he becomes jiva, what is entire life's occupation now? Guna karma murti. The three gunas, guna also means the vasanas, because of the variety of thoughts in the mind, and to forced by those thoughts, we are in the karma, and then karma phala this way. Then he himself is called Sutra Mahaniti Urdheva Gitaha. At the totality level, this jiva alone, samsare adhavati kala chakraha, kala tantraha. Forced by the kala chakra, he is the one running hither and thither in this samsara. Okay? Now, this is what from our experience standpoint, that we are the jiva because the Abhimana Vidya Upadhi are running here and there in this Kala Tantra Kala Chakra with our gunas and karma. On the inquiry, there is another truth revealed. What is that? Amhulame tat bahuro baro vidam manovacha prana sharira karma jnana sinopasanaya shitena chitva munirgam vicharatya tushnaha. 2 days we have spent fully to understand it. That this manovacha prana sharira karma jiva, this jiva who has got the mano karma, vacha karma, prana karma, sharira karma. Because of these karmas, he is becoming karta. Karma leads to the phala, therefore he is becoming the bhokta. तो शरीर इंद्रिय मनो बुद्धि से कर्म करके कर्ता बनते हुए उसके फल को भोगने के समय भोक्ता बनने वाला ये जो solid substantial jiva bhava which you and I are experiencing as ahamaham amulam. In its own root, it is not there. Or the root of it is Paramatma or Parabrahma. And when you go to that root, Paramatma, Parabrahma, it is not there. Now, in a scientific manner, hold it, you can carry it, you can say 3 kilo वजन है इसका, energy in motion. And what is the energy also? Objectified consciousness is energy. Energy vibration is the matter. The matter combining together is the atom, combining together is molecules, combined together is all the things. See, scientifically, even though the vastu is appearing to be so gross, solid, when you go into its moola, ये पूरा है ही नहीं उधर अमूल में था साइंटिफिकली जैसा किया वैसे ही कॉन्टेम्पलेशन में when we go into the root of this jiva, an interesting thing happens. The jiva is what, as we studied in our morning Upanishad class also, while studying Saya Eshontar Hrudaya Akashaha, even Telugu people while studying Drukdrushya Viveka, what is jiva? Reflection of consciousness in the Aham Vritti. That consciousness identified with that Aham Vritti is called jiva, which is only a phenomena. Okay, in that consciousness alone is real and he is not jiva. The ahamvritti has come from Maya, which itself has no basis. Yet, in that ahamvritti, the reflection of consciousness, no reflection is real. Real is real, reflection is not real. देखो अहमवृत्ति ही झूठ है उसमें परमात्मा चैतन्य का आभास भी झूठ है और उस आभास से तादात्म्य कर कर अहमवृत्ति फिर देहादि से तादात्म्य करके जीव बन रहा है सारा झूठ है वहां but it appears to be real. Like in movie when we see so many of the locations, sceneries we see. Out of that, at least 30, 40, 50% तो झूठी है. He's all in the studio only. Many of the things, they make it and they like in any शादी के कहाँ होता है पंडाल डाल के वहीं शादी कर रहे हैं थोड़ा आलीशान बैकड्रॉप लगा दिया it looks like when you look from different distance a video of it लगता है कि बड़ा महल में हो रहा है it's only open ground but it is made so too in the movie all that is in is made up only not real think about it what appears in the same way this is what is the breakthrough we have to gain in our understanding and conviction. What is that? It is not there, still it is appearing. Therefore, it is appearance only, not real. Only this much. It is not there, but still appearing. Therefore, it is appearance, not real. And no appearance can be without the substratum. The substratum is a reality, and that is nothing but Satchit Ananda Brahma. And in that Satchidananda Brahma, it is not there. Everything is like that. In the mud, there is no pot there. In the pot, there is nothing other than the mud. So, in both cases, when mud alone is there, where is the pot? Not at all there, but appearing. If we can really sort out through the examples, make our understanding little sublime, same thing. This is what the gurus are struggling to convey to us. भैया आप घड़े से पानी ला रहे हो सब है लेकिन घड़ा है नहीं वहां व्हाट आई मीन घड़ा है नहीं है इंडिपेंडेंटली नहीं है independent of what its cause called as mud from that standpoint you see mud alone is given a form and name is the pot therefore what is what a form and name given to the mud form and name is what unreal because they don't exist independently what is real then mud alone. So instead of mud, you take Satchidananda Atma. In the sense of what? The entire world of names and forms. So the mud is real, Sachidananda Atma is real, all the parts are nothing but name and form superimposed on the mud. So entire world of names and forms are nothing but superimposed on Sachidananda Paramatma. Not real. But they are experienced, they are seen, but still they are not real. Now, देखो एक ही बात ज़्यादा नहीं, I know you will not understand it still. In Vyavahara, what do we say? Perceivable by Indriyas, therefore it is real. In Vedanta, what we say? Perceivable by Indriyas, therefore it is not real. इंद्रियों के द्वारा देखा जा रहा है इसलिए सत्य है, हम ऐसा मानते हैं. वेदांत क्या कहती है? इंद्रियों के द्वारा परसीवेबल है क्या? या देन इट इज असत्य, बिकॉज द सद्वस्तु इज नॉट इंद्रिय गोचरम, इट इज बियॉन्ड, इट इज बिहाइंड. दिस चेंज इन अवर अंडरस्टैंडिंग इज कॉल्ड वेदांत स्पिरिचुअलिटी. I am explaining the word amulam etat. And yet, at the time of its imaginary manifestation, this jiva is bahurupa rupitam. Again, I am pausing here. Actually, नहीं है वो, लेकिन जब रूप लेता है, एक नहीं दो नहीं हजारों रूप लेता है. बहुरूप रूपितम. The बहुरूप रूपितम of the jiva is what? In every of his life, he is taken one or the other deha. That itself is bahurupa. Till he jiva bhava dissolves and atma anubhava is experienced, to that jiva, every janma is bahurupa. And in each janma, again from childhood to becoming old, bahurupa. And every day, through his indriyas, antakarana, his qualification, his identities in the world, he has got so many rupas. We have explained yesterday this in detail. So this manovacha prana sharira karma jiva etadu amulam, but bahurupa rupitam. And he is the one who is suffering, and that is me. And me alone, there is another self who is in non-suffering. It is Ananda Swarupa. That I have to identify with. And two cannot be at the same time. When Jiva Bhava is there, Atma Anubhava is not there. When Atma Anubhava is required, Jiva Bhava you have to remove. That is why the next two lines told us about sadhana we discussed yesterday. Jnana asina upasana snaya shitena chitva. Chitva. And we explained it yesterday. For the jiva to continue as jiva, he needs the identity with upadhis. For the upadhis to continue, they need the outer shabda sparsha ruprasagandha. Therefore, by rationing the shabda sparsha ruprasagandha and feelings, etc., the upadhis are devalued or made thin. Because the upadhis are made thin, उपाधियों के बल पर ही जीव भाव है, that jiva also slowly become thin and thin. That is called as upasanaya shitena jnana asina chedanam. As we go on doing, shabda sparsha prasagandha are not there, indriyas are not there. Indriya means all the upadhis. Where is jiva then? See, when you remove the water, remove the balti, where is the reflection? Balti रहने दो, पानी निकाल दो तो. It's a beautiful thing, really clearly understand. उपाधि है तो जीव है, उपाधि नहीं तो जीव नहीं है. आत्मा हमेशा है. I'm always there, the self. So yesterday we talked about, are you ready for that chedanam? It's $1 million question. Then only we give you upasanaya shitena jnana asina. Upasana is again and again listening from the Guru the Shastras in which the Paramatmas, Swarupa Lakshanas and Tatastha Lakshanas are told, and about the Jagat, the Mithyatva is told. Listening this again and again and doing contemplation is called Upasana. That itself takes us to the Jnana Khadgam. And that Jnana Khadgam is sharpened by this Upasana. Upasana is repeatedly contemplating, by which the information becomes knowledge that self alone is real. The jiva with upadita atma is not required unreal. Suddenly, like that, काटते जाओ, suddenly पेट कट गया, नीचे गिर गया. अहम वृक्षस्य रेरिवा वृक्षणात्. In the same way, this jnana, ki aham brahmasmi, naham jivosmi, naham devosmi, with all the logics, is that jnana is a khadga, करते जाओ सडनली एक दिन हम टक से ऐसा पता चल जाता है कि आई नॉट ए जीव, आई एम नॉट देह, दे आर नॉट रियल, सेल्फ इज रियल. चित्वा, then only muni gam vicharati, then only he will revel in the world without any bondage and atrushna. What is bondage? Atrushna only. Trishna is for the jiva because of vasanas as demanded by the upadis. Desire, Trishna means. To the self, he is not lacking anything. He is infinite in his ananda, bliss. Therefore, Trishna nahi hoga. Now, these shlokas are so important for spiritual sadhana. जितने भी बार सुनो मनन चिंतन करो उतना अच्छा है. So, upasana sitena jnana chitva. This is sadhana told. With the sword of knowledge sharpened by the upasana, cut this jiva into pieces and throw him. Before that, cut the upadis. Before that, cut all the worldly things and importance given to them. आसक्तियों का छेदन, आकर्षणों का छेदन, विषयों के प्रति आसक्ति का छेदन, इंद्रियों में रहने वाला आकर्षण का छेदन. Then finally, the chedana, the jiva bhava. Okay. Then what is the jnana asi? Where to get all that is the next mantra. We have seen that 18th one. 19th is an example for that. Chant that mantra. Jnanam viveko nigamastapascha pratyakshamaithihya mahatha anumanam adyantayorasya yadeva kevalam kalascha hetuscha tadeva madhye. Go slow. We have gone yesterday whole day for this class only. So, jnanam what? Vivekaha. Vivek karna hi jnana hai. And to do the viveka, you need a support. Sagamoti nigama hai. So, with the support of nigama or shastra, jnana, shastra mein diya hua knowledge, information kya? When you do viveka, then we get the jnana. What jnanam? Self alone is Satchidananda, that alone is real. Everything other than that is unreal. That jnana will come. Uday hota hai us jnana ka, jab vivek karte hain according to nigama. What who can do? Going to the guru, listening to the shastram, using the jnanam shastram and doing the viveka to get the jnanam, the one who has controlled all his faculties. Therefore, tapascha. This is one set. With tapasya, faculties are controlled. In the controlled faculty, we go to the guru. Guru teaches us nigama. The nigama ka जो information है, we take it. With that, you do the viveka. In that viveka, already existing truth का ज्ञान होता है. कि self is real, everything other than it is unreal. Along with this, the other things which have to be included in this total menu of spiritual sadhana is pratyaksha. Pratyaksha. Pratyaksha is not pratyaksha is your own direct final experience, but at another level, the pratyaksha means, as we said that day, nothing is permanent, everything is perishing in front of eyes only. So knowing that is called as pratyaksham. The next one is what? Pratyaksham. Then it said aitihyam. Okay, aitihyam is as given to us by the seniors, elders, the realized saints. So, atha anumanam. Anumanam is using the logic. So the anumanam is logic or yukti, aitiyam is the words of the elders, pratyaksham is what we see with our own eyes. Then we do the viveka. So what we have to say? The jnana asi, which can cut the jiva from its all roots, is created and sharpened by all these sadhanas. Nigamaka viveka, tapasya, pratyaksha, aitihya, anuman. All put together is the preparation of this sword. Be careful, be conscious, be alert. All these put together lead to the formation of a sharpened sword called Jnanam, which will cut the Jiva Bhava, in which the experience is I am not Jiva, born by the Upadhi, I am the Atma, who is infinite, without any Upadhi. एक एक चीज की जरूरत है तो तब विवेक ज्ञानम निगम व्यवसिन तो ज्ञानम विवेक निगमो विवेक देन प्रत्यक्षम आल्सो वी हैव अंडरस्टूड सॉरी tapasya also we understood. Pratyaksham also we explained. You see, everything is perishing. Is it not? Everything is perishing. Pratyaksham. Except I. Which is this I is realized on the seat of meditation. But there is one I who is always there. And other than I, that pure, every other things which we take as I, but correct nahi or wrong, all of them are perishable. We see that Pratyaksham. Sharira is changing, Indriyas are changing, the mind is changing, thoughts are changing, everything mari ja raha hai. That's called Pratyaksha Anuman, Pratyaksha Praman. Okay? Except I, everything is changing. Pratyaksha. Then Aitihyam is the experienced saints' words, like that of Trishanku, like that of the Mahaiti, Maha Chamasya Pravedayate. They are all called as the Aitihya. Itihasakara means they are the living examples of this experience. Then Anumanam is Yukti. So Yukti, बड़ों का बात और उन प्रत्यक्ष observation, then Viveka with the help of Shastra Jnana, Shastra information, all that gives us the required sharp sword of Jnanam. And what is the swarup of this Jnanam or this Jnana Anubhuti? Only one thing. Adi antayoho asya yat. अस्य जगतः आदि अंतयोः यत् इस जगत का आदि अंत में जो है तदेव मध्ये that alone is in between. And in between whatever we are seeing is a effect. For this effect, that itself is called cause. The cause is called a hetu. And when in between, in any number of forms, etc., that is appearing, the Paramatma, the Prakashaka of all those appearances, along with their own inner capacities, all that is also same Paramatma. Dhyan se. Prakashaka. The Prakashaka is called Kalaha. It is called a Kalahacha. Prakashakaha, illuminator. Also he is alone. How important is this analysis? Again, I am explaining what we are seeing in front of us is huge world of infinite names and forms. We see inside the mind also huge world of thoughts, infinite. These were either outer world or inner world. Was not there in the beginning. Only one Paramatma was there. A time comes where all this dissolves or continuously dissolving also. When everything dissolves, what remains is Paramatma. पहले वही थे बाद में वही थे. What is there in between is that only. As what? Hetu of whatever we are seeing as if other than Paramatma. Hetu means cause. And also the Kala, illuminator. That Hetu is called Upadana Karana. The Kalaha, the Prakashakatvam, is called as Nimitta Karana. So how we have to understand? The pure Paramatma alone is there. Suddenly became the Hetu and appeared as the Jagat. He became the Kala and illuminated the Jagat. The Kala is knower in me. The Hetu is the known outside. Both the known and knower, both are. two forms of one self only. That is what we have to very sublime. You know? Paramatma, Paramatma, Paramatma. In between the world. After the world dissolves, again Paramatma, Paramatma. Okay. In between what is there world? World has to have a cause and it should be illuminated. Known. जब कोई चीज है उसको जानते हैं तो उसके अस्तित्व को वही मायना होता है. So the hetu also he only, prakashak also he only. What an important thought it is. Then what happens? When you know him as the hetu and prakashaka, him Paramatma only, then what happens? That reality which is given to the name and form, devalued. Then what happens? जिसको हम हेतु प्रकाशक कहा, वो आत्मा जो पहले था बाद में रहेगा. That alone is seen even though the रूप नाम are there. थोड़ा मेडिटेटिव थॉट ये है, ध्यान देना पड़ेगा. In front, in the beginning, self alone. Later, at the end of dissolution, self. In between also Paramatma. That's what we have to catch. And establish in this knowledge. Strongly. So, asya adi antayoho yat tadeva madhye abhi. And for that madhya vastu, what is the hetu is that Paramatma, Kala the eliminator also, the same Paramatma. Take this thing. This at least daily once, 200 days, 6 महीने, daily contemplate करो, it starts clicking. Daily. It will click to us. Straight away once you listen, ना, और लॉजिक दिमाग में नहीं जाता, डिटेल्स दिमाग में नहीं जाते हैं, और बात समझ में आता नहीं. For everyone in the beginning. But when we repeatedly contemplate, one day it clicks to us what is said. What is said is already said. What is said? We have to understand. So a wood or a plastic, later on also plastic. In between, it became a chair. So in between the chair का हेतु क्या है? प्लास्टिक ओनली. प्रकाशक का क्या है? प्लास्टिक ओनली. प्लास्टिक चेयर ही बताओगे आप उसको. Plastic only became hetu and prakashaka and appearing as chair. We are lost in the appearance. We are forgetting the hetu prakashaka mula padartha, which is all the time the same. So, in other way, see, I was alone there in the beginning. After the whole deluge or pralaya happens, I alone remain. Now only, in between, I am there as a jiva with my upadhi. World is there in front of me as namarupa. Discover that for all the upadhi and namarupa, I am the hetu. While going through them, I am the prakashaka. So I myself, eternal self, for some of the other reason of my Leela or Maya or Avidya, appearing as the world of names and forms. The appearance is called being a Hetu, being a Prakasha. एक बार क्लिक हो जाता है ना? When we become introverted in the heart, bring your Rama or Krishna or Omkar Mat Brahma, do their upasana or Devi Rani Mata Rani. Pray to them, ask, ये जी तत्व ज्ञान है भगवान मुझे रिवील हो जाए. गुरु कह रहे हैं, उनके तरफ से तो कहने का हो गया, बट आई एम नॉट एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. प्लीज मेक मी सटल एनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड. प्लीज मेक मी शार्प एनफ टू अंडरस्टैंड. इन दिस वे व्हेन यू डू बाय हिज ग्रेस इट क्लिक्स वन डे. देन इतनी बात थी किया, इतनी थी, पर इतने जन्म से नहीं आया समझ में, या वही कृपा नहीं हुआ, वही यू नेवर प्रेड टू द लॉर्ड फॉर दैट. So I am not the Panchakosha, I am the self. Point one. The self me is everywhere as Brahman. And on that Brahman or the self, Samashti may be, Vyashti may be. Whatever Rupanama are there are projected. This is one way of seeing. Second way of what? Any Vyashti or Samashti, Rupanama we see. They are all nothing but in the Rupanama form of the same self. The self being the Hetu and Prakashakaha. अब इतने रूपों में, इतने स्थूल सूक्ष्म कारण के रूपों में, इतने लाखों करोड़ों वेराइटी में, how can the same Paramatma appear? That is what is Maya, Baba. Like I told you the example again of plastic. It's a plastic. But with one plastic, by mixing some colors, this, that, and alloys, whatever, how many thousands of varieties of objects are we not producing? एक ही प्लास्टिक से छोटे कुर्सियाँ बड़े कुर्सियाँ रिक्लाइन वाले कुर्सियाँ हैं टेबल्स भी है टी पॉयज भी है each one in different design and all. How many thousand? Can there be any end to the number of possible designs of the chairs and all? पूछो नील कमल वाले को हर एक महीना वो नया निकालते जाते thousands endless forms and names. When it is projection it can be endless but moola is one. So main carrying point क्या है श्लोक में that which was there in the beginning, that which will be there at the end of this world. Before the world created, Paramatma alone was. When the world gets dissolved, Paramatma alone remains. So in between the world is there. And what is world? Paramatma alone as a Hetu and Prakashakaha appearing as this Jagat. Wow, beautiful if you can understand it. Think. Then we come to the example. Yatha hiranyam su akrutam purastat paschach sarvasya hiranmayasya tadeva madhye vyavaharyamanam nanapadeshaihi ahamasya tadvato. Again. यथा हिरण्यं स्वकृतं पुरस्तात् पश्चाच्च सर्वस्य हिरण्मयस्य तदेव मध्ये व्यवहार्यमाणं नानापदेशैः अहमस्य तद्वत्. Example. One by one word, not at all difficult. With little concentration, quietness, you can easily understand. भूल जाते हैं बात सुनने के समय समझना आसान है पर याद में अपनी मर्जी है भूलने का याद रख के भूल जाते हैं अपन वन बाय वन वर्ड वन यथा जस्ट लाइक हिरण्यम गोल्ड su akrutam akrutam is not made su means into ornaments sukrutam means made into ornaments so akrutam means not made into ornaments. So akrutam hiranyam purastat. Okay, na? What was it earlier? Gold only. Then paschacha, after the ornamentation is gone, that time also hiranyam. Then tadeva madhye vyavahara mandam. Paschacha sarvasya hiranymayasya. Okay. Sarvasya hiranymayasya means of all the ornamentation. Before the ornamentation is made is gold. After ornamentation is dissolved is also gold. बीच में और दूसरा कोई आया क्या तदेव मध्य बट देन कैच दिस पॉइंट व्यवहार्यमाणम नाना अपदेशैः अपदेश मीन्स नेम्स एंड फॉर्म्स नाना अपदेश मीन्स मेनी नेम्स मेनी फॉर्म्स मेनी यूटिलिटीज के रूप में व्यवहार किया जा रहा है दैट डजंट मीन that what was there in the beginning, what's going to be there at the end. In between, it is disappeared and something came in its form. Nahi, na? Madhye api same thing, but nana apadesha hi vyavaharyamanam. For the sake of vyavahara, you are giving various forms to it, names to it, using it. Gold. You know, the bangles, the necklaces, the nose ring, the earrings. All these were nana apadesha hi vyavaharyamanam. Bas, that's all. That doesn't mean बिफोर द ऑर्नामेंटेशन जो गोल्ड था अब चला गया. दसो कॉमन सेंस क्या है? अगर जलाएगा होता गोल्ड, देन द ऑर्नामेंट व्हेन दे आर मेल्टेड डिसअपियर होना चाहिए. ऑर्नामेंट शुड नॉट अगेन रिमेन बैक टू बिकम गोल्ड. जब पिघलाते हैं ऑर्नामेंट को, गोल्ड है कि नहीं है? नहीं था. है मतलब क्या था? जब बीच में आभरण के रूप में था, दैट टाइम आल्सो गोल्ड. So, Nanapadesha Vyavaharyamanam. Therefore, entire world is nothing but variety of names, forms for Vyavahar. On the reality only. Tata Asya, Tata Aham Asya Tadvat. In the same way, I am for this Jagat. So, I am before Jagat. I am when the dissolution of the Jagat happens. In between, in the Jagat, whatever the variety of names and forms are there, called as Vyavaharyamanam Nana Apadeshaihi. That also me only. Me only is being in Vyavahara. Apadesha means called as various forms, various names. Made into forms, named into many names. Asya aham tadvatu. Okay? Aham asya. Asya jagata aham. Aham means not the jiva bhava, not deha. The real pure Sachidananda Atma ही अलग अलग रूप नाम के कारण अलग अलग व्यवहार किया जा रहा है. व्यवहार में ही डिफरेंस इज देयर. इन रियलिटी इट्स गॉड. ठीक है ना? द फिंगर में यू पुट ए फिंगर रिंग. हैंड को ऑल्सो यू पुट ए बड़ा सोने का कड़ा. तो दिस विल नॉट फिट टू द फिंगर. फिंगर वाला आप इसमें नहीं लगा सकते. दिस इज डिफरेंट. दैट इज नाना. एंड उसका नाम अलग है. दिस कॉल्ड इज बैंगल. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज ए रिंग. साइज भी अलग होता है. जगह जहाँ रखते हैं वो भी अलग होता है. नेम ऑल्सो डिफरेंट. बट क्वालिटेटिवली कौन सा दोनों का आत्मा है? एक ही सोना है ना. छोटो सच्चिदानंद परमात्मा के ऊपर ही ये सब आरोपित है. दिस पॉइंट वी हैव टू थाउजेंड टाइम्स कॉन्टेम्पलेट एंड डोंट गिव वैल्यू टू द आरोपित रूप नाम as if they are real. They are not real. The moment we can accept it, then all our value importance given to goes away. The moment that is gone, there is no samsara. एक सेकंड में डिसॉल्व हो जाता है संसार. मजेदार बात है वो. कर पाया तो. सो हिरण्य का एग्जाम्पल देखकर सेम इज मी द सेल्फ. आई एम द सेल्फ बिफोर द एंटायर वर्ल्ड क्रिएटेड. After the dissolution also, I alone remain. In between, the whole world is nothing but the projection of Nana Apadesha for Vyavahara on me. Not real. See, be attentive. The birth of the pot, the death of the pot, both are not real. थोड़ा सोच लो. Because the mud never was born when the pot was born. The mud never died when pot broken. One point. Second is what? Mud is never broken, never made. Because there is no thing called as mud. Pot is never made or never broken because there is no real thing called as pot independent. See how wonderful it is. नो एक चीज पकड़ लेना. अगला वाला बहुत बढ़िया है. रसास्वादन वाला है वो. रसीला है. व्हाट इज दैट? फिर बीच में क्या हुआ? ऑन द मड ओनली the pot came. Listen carefully, next sentence. Why the pot came? Only one reason. What is that? Just to go away. Can you focus on this thought? Why the pot came is only to go away. Therefore, the coming of the pot is fulfilled only in its going away. Accept it. Every birth fulfills itself in the death. And the birth and death is only of the forms and names, not reality. Is it not? The form called as pot, the name called as pot, is born, which is unreal, and it is dying, not the mud. याद रख लेना, सृष्टि हो क्यों रहा? लय होने के लिए बस. थोड़ा इंतजार है, उसी को स्थिति कहते हैं. एक्सेप्ट करो, ये करो या ना करो, एक्सेप्ट, वही तो हो रहा है. Why the pad is grown only to die one day. In between it did not die, but dying. That's why Bhagavan Krishna very clearly in Gita. There are only two type of people, he says. One, those who are gone. Second, those who are going. Nobody is permanent. गता असून प्राण छोड़ कर गए, अगता असून अभी नहीं छोड़े, बस छोड़ने वाले. Why it is so? Because already said before shloka, jata se hi dhruvaha mrityu. अब मतलब बाद में कहेंगे उसको. Anything born fulfills its birth only in the death. बर्थ डेथ को अगर आप दूसरे सिंप्लीफाइड भाषा में कहो, एनीथिंग अपियर्स विल हैव टू डिसअपियर. द अपीयरेंस फुलफिल्स ओनली इन डिसअपियरेंस. And these are all projections, appearance and disappearance on the reality. Reality is always. Then, first discover the reality. Then play with the appearances and disappearances equally, in between the modifications. Because the reality is on which only this is happening, and reality is never born when the things are born, never modified when they are born, never destroyed when the names and forms are destroyed. तो मूल पूंजी तो है ना. See, nowadays in all those forex trading में कहो, everywhere, the bitcoins कहो, all are these mutual funds में, every day new things start coming. So latest trend is what? 3 years में your money is tripled. Till few months back, but we don't know what the market happens, collapses, we can't guarantee. सब ठीक ठाक है तो मिलेगा, नहीं तो म्यूचुअल फंड जोखिम से भरा है, आप पूरा जानकारी दस्तखत करना. दैट्स व्हाट दे से, नो. फुल ऑफ रिस्क्स. दे से वन साइड सही है, अगेन दे से रिस्क भी है. नाउ ए ट्रेंड इज व्हाट? Beautiful trend. Some people have started. They're not promising 20, 30, 40 times of profit. They're promising only 3 times profit. 100 दे दो 300. पहला वाला क्या था? 100 दे दो 1000 दूंगा, बट गारंटी नहीं. अंडरस्टैंड? नाउ क्या है? 100 दे दो 300 दूंगा, बट गारंटी एक बात का क्या है? चाहे मार्केट कितना डाउन हो जाए, आपका 100 आपको मिल जाएगा. Every of the plots, ventures, everybody they do it. They say, you buy this land, it will grow in its cost in few years. In 4 years, I'll give you the double the amount of this. But right now you buy it. It's guaranteed on writing paper, because they know it will be made as governmental land या कोई भी हो, उसमें आ जाएगा गवर्नमेंट डेवलपमेंट में वगैरह. Because people have to be given some basic faith, else they won't invest. आपका 100, अब लोग भी क्या है ना, 100 रुपए घर में लगाने बजाय दे गिव इट टू देम. मिला तो 400, मिला 300, नहीं तो मेरा 100 तो है ना. एंड यू सी वन थिंग इज व्हाट, नोबडी कैन एश्योर, बिकॉज़ नोबडी परमात्मा की तरह सर्वज्ञ थोड़ी है. एंड इट्स ऑल माया. इट्स अ माया प्लस इट्स अ टोटल माइंड वर्किंग. एंड टोटल माइंड विच साइड एट व्हाट टाइम इट टिल्स डू वी नो? सी कल परसों तो शेयर बाजार इतना बढ़ रहा था, इतना घट गया देखो. When will it grow? When it doesn't grow, don't know. तो why Swami is trade market you are saying as if you know it. मैं ऐसे बक रहा हूँ, कुछ भी नहीं पता मुझे. The idea is what? When the names and forms come, play, dance, go, and do every type of navarasa dance, whatever happen, but the investment, the main पूंजी जो है ना आत्मा, उसका कोई बिगड़ता नहीं है. And let me that self first. And anytime there is a garbage in the appearing world, go back to the self. I am the self. Go on, first of all, strengthen that I am Atma. Then, second thing is, on the Atma only, everything is projected. It's not real. And because it's projected, it will be dejected or rejected one day. Be ready for it. And when it's happening, go back to self. देखो कुछ बंदे होते हैं ना, वो इंसिडेंट होने का तो कहते हैं मैंने पहले ही कहा था कि होएगा कर. नो ही इज नॉट ए जादूगर, ही इज नॉट ए ज्योतिषी, कुछ नहीं, पर मुख से निकला उसका उतने मात्र से ही जब हुआ वो बात, ही इज लेस मिजरेबल देन द अदर, क्योंकि वो कहते हैं मैंने पहले कह दिया. He is less miserable. He is prepared is in the mind. In the same way, if we can prepare in these two aspects. One, self is never changed, never modified, never destroys. Two, on the self, the names and forms are imagined or projected. Three, these imaginations, projections cannot be permanent. पहले कह दिया मैंने, इसलिए when it goes away, there is no tension. मैं तो आजकल यही बना रहा हूँ. Nobody will be permanent in my life. Earlier, we were thinking they'll be permanent and we were trying for them to be permanent and they were never. Then, so much of misery. Whether they are things or the beings or situations or conditionings, no. How is बात पे आप ठहर हो जाओ. दो बातें. Nothing and being in the world is permanent. Atma is always permanent. And I am that Atma. And discover that Atma on the seat of meditation, which again is a very sublime practice. In a very deep contemplative meditative level में, when all the panchakoshas upadhis are rejected through variety of anaya vyatireka sadhana, then the self is known. Some of them will be told here, remaining in our Taittiriya Upanishad, anyway we are going to study. So इतने बातें बताने का फिर भी हमको आराम से हमेशा देखते रहना है. That's why, therefore, that's why we go on talking like. Therefore, there is a self in me whose nature is Sachidananda, which I am to yet experience. That alone is real. Everything else is projected on that. Once it is projected, the other day the projection goes away. Therefore, if we are ready to face when the projected goes away. Don't get suffering. This is a samsara management. What is spiritual management? Before the projected goes away, you only throw it away and discover the self on which the things are projected. Clear? The samsari मजबूरी से जगत को छोड़ता है और दूसरे जगत को पकड़ता है. स्पिरिचुअल सीकर बाय चॉइस जगत को छोड़ता है, फिर से नहीं पकड़ता, परमात्मा को ही पकड़ता. सो सिंपल. मजबूरी से छोड़ता है मतलब अब मजबूरी है, यू कांट डू एनीथिंग. मजबूरी यू कांट. बट स्पिरिचुअल ऐसे नहीं कि जानबूझकर छोड़ता है, बाय चॉइस. एंड दिस फेलो वो छोड़ता है मजबूरी से, ही विल कैच समथिंग एल्स. देन वो भी छोड़कर और कहीं. दैट कॉल्ड संसार. स्पिरिचुअल पर्सन, these are all unreal projection. Why should I hold on to that? I just dropped it. Then I caught the self. It's not as easy as it is said in words, but just we are telling this is what the meaning of spiritual sadhana to be done, whether it takes 1 life or 10 lives. सारांश ये है. The reality self alone. Everything else is projection. Reality was there before the creation. Self after that also it will be there. In between also that alone is. And to make us this way spiritually discover the self even in the world, while the world is there, we are given the help of the devotion. Wherein परमात्मा को देखो, हर जगह में परमात्मा को देखो. What is the meaning of परमात्मा को देखो? To dissolve the variety of differences we are seeing into one common denominator called Paramatma. देन ए क्वेश्चन विल कम, परमात्मा को देखो देखो कहा, देखा मैं, अब कौन परमात्मा है? दैट इज सच्चिदानंद परमात्मा. That will be revealed later on. First of all, you look the world as Paramatma. If you want more substantially, पूरा जगत को भगवान राम के रूप में देखो, कृष्ण के रूप में देखो. ऐसे देखते देखते सारा जगत राम और कृष्ण में ऐसा भाव जो बनता है, then we inquire which Rama, which Krishna, then we discover they have to be Satchidananda Atma. Bhakti that way helps us as a catalyst in between, so essential. नहीं तो क्या होगा? We never become qualified to know the self, nor will be willing to give up the projected world. So both ways we are suffering. सेल्फ को नहीं पता किया, इसलिए आत्मानंद नहीं होगा. जगत को छोड़ नहीं पा रहे, इसलिए दुख नहीं छूटेगा. थिंक 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 थिंक. यथा हिरण्यम सुअकृतम पुरस्तात् पश्चाच्च सर्वस्य हिरण्मयस्य तदेव मध्ये व्यवहार्यमाणं नानापदेशैः तद्वत् अहम् अस्य जगतः. Now next 3-4 shlokas I tell you are so important and complete. बहुत बहुत. और सुनने के बाद मेरे ख्याल में और सुनने का कुछ नहीं होता, बस करने का होता. वर्ड करने का, जो सुना है उसको बार बार दोहराते हुए उसके ऑपोजिट जो इग्नोरेंस है उसको निकालने वाला काम करने का रहता है. फ्रॉम आवर ओन नोशंस. Like this person is bad, told by somebody to me, and I made a notion. Then the other fellow came with all the proofs and evidences, showed that no, it's not bad. Taking all the evidences, what I do? Remove the wrong notion that is bad, replace it by is a good. कहाँ हो रहा है ये सब? In your own understanding and acceptance, no, in the same way. The notion that name and form is real are replaced by the knowledge that the self alone is real. Slowly, that action we have to do after gaining the knowledge. देखो दो बातें, ज्ञान है, ज्ञान का अभ्यास है. सो मैं आत्मा हूं, समझ गए ना? अब आत्मा की तरह रहो ना, फिर क्यों जीव और देह के रूप में लटक रहे हो? So you understand, that is why in the Nididhyasanam or meditation done for years together, even though we have got knowledge that I am the self, still the habitual errors are there, no? Again and again to slip to the level of Devasmi, Jivasmi, they are all dissolved. And बहुत आवश्यक है वो. And all are important. One is what? Give up the world, come to the Guru, listen about the Paramatma as real, Jagat as unreal. First point. Second, go into the Jagat, live in the Jagat. While living, two things you do. One, exhaust all the vasanas. Second is what? Come out of the Jagat as real. Thereafter, again go to the ashram, sit there, and in the heart, contemplate on the self and reach it. सो पहले गुरु के पास जाकर थियरी सीखा, फिर जगत में अंतःकरण को शुद्ध करने वाले सेवाएं की, फिर ध्यान कक्षा में बैठकर अब अंतःकरण शुद्ध हो गया, इंटेलेक्चुअल नॉलेज कन्विक्शन का हो गया, अब उसको रियलाइज करने का बैठना ध्यान में. That is why you see in the Taittiriya Upanishad, the children went to Guru taught, now Guru sending them to the world and he is telling while being in the world, do all this. Satyavada, Dharmam Chara, Swadhyaya, Maha. Through that all your obligations you clear, keeping this knowledge intact that all that is unreal. क्यों कि नॉलेज होने के बाद भी कुछ धुलाई करने का होता है, उसके लिए सब करो. Without any kamana, nishkama bhava se, when you go on doing the seva, then all the obstructions between theoretical knowledge, practice and experience, they go away. When the obstructions go away, you practice the theoretical knowledge on the seat of meditation. Then that practice leads to experience. ये 3-4 चीजें मन में रखना. Now another shloka. Okay. विज्ञानमेतत् त्रितयं विज्ञानमेतत्त्रियवस्थमङ्ग गुणत्रयं कारणकार्यकर्तृ समन्वयेन व्यतिरेकतश्च येनैव तुर्येण तदेव सत्यम् विज्ञानमेतत्त्रियवस्थमङ्ग गुणत्रयं कारणकार्यकर्तृ समन्वयेन व्यतिरेकतश्च येनैव तुर्येण तदेव सत्यम्. Now this is a very very crucial important श्लोक. बहुत तगड़ा दिमाग इस पे लगाना है. आज सिंपल बात बताएंगे, कल डिस्क्राइब करेंगे. विज्ञान मीन्स दिस विज्ञानमय कोश of ours in which the jiva is seated. He is going through tritayam, three avastaha, jagra sapna sushi avastasu, because of three gunas, gunatrayam. And he is called karya, karana, karina, karya, kartru. Karana is the vasanas, karya is sthula sharira, kartru is the antakarana. वासना रूपी कारण, देह रूपी कार्य, अंतकरण रूपी कर्तृ को पकड़कर तीनों गुणों के कारण तीन अवस्थाओं में भटकने वाला जो विज्ञान है, जिसको जीव कहते हैं, दिस फेलो कैन ही at every moment, any moment of what we describe now, be without the conscious self, the consciousness, the सच्चिदानंद आत्मा. कौन सी जगह है जहां ये सच्चिदानंद आत्मा इनमें नहीं है? ऐसे कौन सा समय या जगह जिसमें सच्चिदानंद आत्मा इन सब में नहीं है? इन सब में मीन्स विज्ञानमय में, तीनों अवस्थाओं में, तीनों गुणों में. देन द अदर थिंग्स इज व्हाट? कार्य कारण कर्तृ में. विच इज द प्लेस वेयर द सच्चित आत्मा इज नॉट देयर? देखा तो क्या पता चलता है ना? देयर इज नो प्लेस वेयर सच्चिदानंद इज नॉट देयर. Therefore, what is the meaning of it? This Satchidananda is all pervading in all these things. This understanding, we'll explain it tomorrow more. This understanding called as Anvayam. Anvayam. Okay. Now, by some process means, let us say, of meditation, do these two things. Either discover the self. Then what do you see? All the things are not seen at all when the self is seen. Or another technique is what? Drop all these upadhis. But still the Atma remains. This is called a Vyatireka. जो कुछ भी है उसमें परमात्मा है. इट्स कॉल्ड अन्वय. सब कुछ निकाल दो फिर भी परमात्मा है, या परमात्मा में उनके अलावा कुछ नहीं है. दिस कॉल्ड व्यतिरेक. दिस कॉल्ड थ्रू द अन्वय व्यतिरेका discovering Paramatma alone everywhere. Transcendentally alone is there. Immanently alone is there. You know, this needs little more. Main thing तो बता दिया है. A list of things are said. Vijnanam etat triyavastam. Then gunatrayam karana kartru. Or all this is samanvayita with turya. There is the fourth thing which is totally there in that. That is called the anvayatva. Discovery of the anvayatva of the Paramatma. हर जगह वो है. Now discover Paramatma and look back, none of them are there. It's called Vyatireka. Or drop all of them, but still the self remains. You can't drop it. That is called the Vyatireka sadhana. इसको और सिंप्लीफाई कर देता हूँ. In my life, make it simple. How many things happened throughout my life? Or in one day, let us take one day as a unit of life. In and through all अनुभव, मॉर्निंग से इन्हें जो हुआ, मैं हूं कि नहीं उसमें, इट्स कॉल्ड अन्वय. All anubhavas you drop. but still you remain. That is called Vyatirek. In and through all, I am there. मैं नहीं तो हो ही नहीं सकता हूँ. That's called my anvayatva. And drop all of them, there is a chance. Still you remain. That's called Vyatirek. मतलब बिना किसी का भगवान रह सकते हैं, लेकिन भगवान के बिना कुछ नहीं रह सकता. देखो भगवान ही इन सब रूप में है. दैट इज द नेक्स्ट लाइन. तदेव सत्यम. Till it clicks, it appears a little tough and difficult. But I am telling every day, when you have that devotion to Guru and Paramatma and pray to them, and when दो लोग दिमाग का बंद अकल का ताला खोलते हैं ना, उस समय जब एक क्लिक होता है ना, कि it is a eureka only. It is an ecstasy of ha, hu, aham annam. It is like aham vrukshasya reriva. Kirti prashtam gireriva. Oh, you can't put that joy. ये छोटे छोटे पजल्स सॉल्व होते हैं तभी यू गेट सो मच जॉय. नो, a scientific thing is discovered, so much joy. Anything, a vaccine discovered or electrical thing discovered, electronic thing discovered, household objects are created. कितना आनंद होता है एक एक चीज को देखने दिख रहे. And then when the self is realized and the realization that the world is unreal is gained, can you put in word that joy? That is why they dance in ecstasy like a Jadavat, Balavat, Unmatavat, Pishachavat. Jada, like Jadabharat and all. Bala, they dance and all. Unmatta, like a Bagal intoxicated. Pishach. Pata hi nahi, he's not in the hosh of anything now. He's in the self. That freedom, when it is discovered in that I am an infinite self, not conditioned by any upadhis, etc., to be as a jiva, it is so beautiful. कोई शब्दों में नहीं बताया जा सकता. वो क्लिक होना है बस. इंटेलेक्चुअली फर्स्ट इट सेल्फ इज ए ग्रेट जॉय. देयर आफ्टर इंटेलेक्चुअल कन्विक्शन, few lives if it is required, or at least few decades, when we deeply going away from everything, sit somewhere in ashram में कहीं बैठ गए ध्यान में. In the dhyana, when you truly go deep into the subtlest inner self, and when you touch that core, can't it, the joy is inexplicable. Bhagavan is teaching all this to us through this 28th chapter, 11th skandha. So this topic and next 2-3 we will see when we meet tomorrow. Sarvam Krishnarpanam Om. Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. Krishna Chandra Bhagavan ki jai. Sadgurunath Maharaj ki jai. This our patient, faithful listening is what Guru wants. When we can have it or give it, they will see to it that they will make us understand. If not today, definitely tomorrow. धीरे धीरे होएगा वो. पर एक बार वो पोल खुल जाता है ना रहस्य, फिर उसका आनंद का कोई ठिकाना नहीं. Let us reach to that.